With heavy hearts, we announce the death of our beloved Bibiana Morgan, affectionately known as Mrs. Morgan or Bibi of Kako V4. She passed away at the Tapia Hospital on Sunday, April 23rd, 2023 at 9:15 a.m. She was 69 years old. Left to mourn, her husband of 47 years, Dr. Peter Morgan, pastor of the V4 Community Baptist Church. Her children, Ethan Morgan, residing in Europe, Jason Morgan and Miranda Davis, both residing in North Carolina. Her grandchildren, Bailey Rodriguez in Chicago, Naomi Morgan, Lucas Morgan, Aidan Davis and Cora Davis in North Carolina. Her brothers, Clarendon Bertram, also known as Rennick, in Orlando, Florida, Calix Edwin in the U.S., Nigel Edwin in Boston, USA, Augustine Edwin in the U.S., Timothy Regis and family of Dennery, Donna and Hester and Merrill and family in London, Julian Bissett and family of Gara Babino, Dennery, America and Greece, Francis Stanio and family residing in London. Her sisters, Margaret Gilbert, also known as Cynthia, Veronica Fontenelle, both residing in Boston, Dr. Juliana Wilson, residing in Maryland, USA, Julie Clark of Cicero, Colette Burin of Dennery, Linda Petrona Nicholas Bissett and family in London and Dennery. Her son-in-law, Jimmy Davis in North Carolina, her daughter-in-law, Julia Morgan in North Carolina. Her in-laws, Pastor Daniel Morgan and wife Jewel, Reuben Morgan and wife Glory, both reside in the Goodlands, Julian Morgan and wife Yvette Morgan of Cicerone, America, Protas Morgan and wife in Brooklyn, New York, Joseph Eugene of Cicerone, Mrs. Agatha Wilson of Monrepo, Lucille Morgan in Brooklyn, New York, Marie O'Neill in Canada. Her nieces-in-law, Leona Catherine Powell in New York, Dr. Alicia Eugene Ford, Ginny Eva Morgan Raphael, both of Caroline, Samantha Glasgow, Leah Morgan Crocker, both residing in New York, Anna Green in England, Eunice Wilson in New York, Meredith Morgan of Parvey, Janice Papin of Cicero, Wendy Mayers in the U.S., Judy Morgan, Stacey Morgan of Monrepo, Gina Morgan of Cicero, Christy Watson, Tara Morgan Paul, Charlene Plummer, all residing in Canada, Corinne Morgan of Cicero, Sheena Mondesi, Crystal Mondesi, Natasha O'Neill, all residing in Canada. Her nieces, Rufina Gilbert, Janet Gilbert, Nadia Gilbert, Claudia Gilbert, Claretta Tutulia, Vernita Tutulia, Zena Tutulia King, Alice Clark, Phyllis Clark, Eunice Clark, Polivette Burin, Shanda Burin, Cleo Burin, Tanika Edwin, Ruth Bash and family of Dennery and London, Maggie Fauché and family of Dennery and London, Rosie Audibert and family in Canada, St. Lucia and London, Anselma Doris Edward and family of Gara Dennery, Diana Joseph and family of Lacroix Babonneau. Children of her deceased sister, Antonia Gilbert, also known as Rugen. Her nephews, Patrick Eugene of Cicerone, Thomas Eugene, Elijah Eugene, both residing in the U.S., Wayne Eugene in Maryland, USA, Jonathan Eugene of St. Lucia, Gaius Wilson in Orlando, Florida, Silas Wilson of Montreal, Titus Wilson in Canada, Douglas Morgan of Cicero, Randolph Morgan in Florida, Tony Morgan, Alex Morgan, both of Pave, Curtis Morgan of Granivier, Hubert Morgan of Pave, Clayton Morgan of the Morn, Daniel Morgan, Siobhan Morgan, both of Cicero, Peter Morgan of the Morn and his wife Nicole, Brad Morgan, Levi Morgan, both of Cicero, Winston Mondesi, Nathan O'Neill, both residing in Canada, Curtis Gilbert, Johnson Gilbert, Alban Gilbert, Julian Tutelia, Peter Tutelia, all residing in the U.S., Jim Clark, residing in England, J.B. Wilson, Kevon, Cedric, N.J. Edwin, all residing in the U.S., Timothy Bowman and family in London, V4 Community Baptist Church family and close friends, members of the Baptist family in St. Lucia, other friends, Barbara Sukwa Singh, Lydia Gaston, Michaelina Nelson, Irene Blanchard, and Aunt Charles. Her special caretakers, Noel and Penny Antoine, Colette Burin, also left to mourn the Flood family, the Lazarus family, the Francis family, the Charlie family, the Ange family, the O'Brien family, the Polion family, the Edwin family, the Gilbert family, the Burin family, the Morgan family, the Williams family, the Sukwa family, the Mayers family, the Lesmore family, the Dash family. The funeral service for our beloved Bibiana Morgan, affectionately known as Mrs. Morgan or BB of Kako, V4, will be held at the V4 Community Baptist Church, Theodore Street, on Saturday, May 6, 2023, at 10 a.m. Thereafter, her body will be cremated. Her body now lies at Rambally's funeral parlor,